surface6.co.uk, sponsors of the Haze Hour.
Yes, it is. They are. They do. It is. I've got some drip tips off Surface 6.
You're going to tell us the date, are you? You usually do. Start with the obvious.
Right. Swap seats?
What's that?
It's hello, good evening, welcome. It is Monday the 28th of April and it is barely past the hour of 9 o'clock. When we actually started it was bang on, but obviously it won't be now. And it's been a day of days today. It's been quite an exciting day. Mine started very early in the morning and I've had to have 2 sleeps. It's unusual for us, isn't it, Chris, having 2 sleeps?
Oh, what? We'd never do things like that.
Nah, don't have a nap on an afternoon. Don't do things like that. But here we are in the studio, in the presence of my next door neighbour and best mate, Keith. You alright, Keith?
Good evening. Yes, I'm fine, thank you.
What you been up to? Aside from scouting out.
Still creosoting fences. But,
Really?
Yes, finished today.
Did you use Ron Seal?
I think
No,
so.
Ron kept it for himself.
I think so, yes.
Because that does exactly what it says on the tin.
So they tell me, yeah.
So they say.
Yes.
So it's
Used 2 tins.
Did you?
Yes.
I see.
It's finished now.
Ah, well, there you are. Can't be wrong. Can't be wrong. And in the cat house tonight, the extended and expanded cat house, we'll have Chris, Chris. How are you doing, Chris?
I'm canny. I'm very canny. I'm doing all right, pet. How's yourself?
Why? I'm walking about and breathing as the days when you can, if you can. You been up to anything sparkling? I'm just trying to make out what you're using there. I can't quite say.
Just the same as you.
But yours is all shiny, mine's not.
What dress have you got on it?
It's not a
What
dress,
what
it's
dress?
pants.
Just my usual dress.
Look at the shine on that. Have you polished that specifically?
No, I'll polish it now for you if you like. See the difference.
I bet you didn't say that to Run tonight. Look at that.
Would be given.
I'll put that, I'm going to put that, because look at the shine on that. That's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Especially when you constipidorate mine. And I shall go into closey up cam and put that in alongside.
Can I get the top off the brass up?
Look, the state of mine. Eh?
That's because you polished it too well.
I think it's a bit dirty because I haven't done much with it.
I Crit My Pants says painting fences is still a pain in the
It's
grass. Pain in the grass.
Bloody awful job.
Absolutely right as well. Hang on, we'll go back to full screen, Chris. Are you getting there?
Well, I've given it a quick
Have you?
brass up.
Oh, there you are. Go on, lads. Fill your boots.
Just a very quick one. And just cleaning that off with a paper tissue.
Chris, they're asking, have you got more lights than usual?
I think it's yeah. Not more, just turned up a little bit more. Plus I let these wonderful new bulbs that we've got to use heat up for an hour.
Oh, yes. DJ Reptile reckons you've got great... Oh, give order, please.
There you go.
I mean, honestly, I'll put the look at... There you are. Same thing, they were only bought a week apart.
I'm just admiring your wall art.
Me wall art.
Aye.
Aye, I like me wall art.
Oh, she's into Catley stuff. Definitely into Catley stuff.
Aye, I've got that, and I've got a tiger on me wall.
And Lamental says he hopes that your tissue has moisturiser. I have no idea what they're talking about.
It's a bloody mess now, I'll tell you.
Good Lord above. Had we better talk about e-cigs?
I think
Well,
so.
we're playing with them.
Does that count?
Aye.
Right.
That's actually looks. We're just catching up on the other camera now, on the live stream, and I've just seen your e-cig, and it actually looks quite nice with that, like a patina finish.
Yes. Well, it's never going to be. Go back to closing up your cam. It's never going to be any different as long as I've got it. So there's absolutely no point in me trying to keep that looking shiny. So I might as well keep it patinated. In actual fact, my sweat has etched the brass. It's rough.
It doesn't surprise me.
But that's just
Still,
me.
from this sort of distance, doesn't look...
No, I think it looks quite nice.
so
Actually.
do I.
I like it. Well, to be honest, I couldn't give a monkey's what it looked like. It works like a dream. It's custy lush. Look. You'd never see vapour like that coming out of Chris with a normal e-cig.
No.
Oh, look at that. Look, see? Curls.
She's enveloped in it. Oh, God.
So you now. Right, hey, we better play the tittles.
Oh, we're not done that yet.
Nah, we haven't done that yet.
We?
Haven't done that yet. Tonight is going to be a strange little show, really, because, like I say, it's been a strange day. It's been a strange week. To be honest,
and it's only Monday.
I know, I'd completely forgotten it was. I'm going to have a look at a disposable that claims to be equivalent to 130 tabs from a company that's new to us. I quite like it, but it's not 130 tabs. We'll probably try and play in the BBC report from this morning, because I think that would be interesting. I'm going to have a look at these drip tips that Daz has sent up from e-cigs, because I'm here to tell you I'm not giving any of these buggers away. I like them. And there's a few other bits and bobs going on. Chris has got a marvellous box. Well, it looks marvellous to me. It's one of the nicest screens I've seen in a long time. And that will be up after the tittles, which are coming in now. That's not repetitive shite, that's proper music, that.
You could have fooled me.
Well, tune in for VT Talk on Thursday night, you'll like that one even more.
Right.
So I've seen it.
It's better than that, is it?
Oh, I think it's brilliant.
Well, that says a lot, doesn't it?
Well, I might load it up during one of the adverts and play it in as a trailer for Thursday.
It's all right.
It'll be good. It'll be good. Where shall we start? Shall we start with your box, Chris? No, I'll rephrase that, with your new vapour tank.
What?
You mean this?
Aye. That.
That's a funny thing.
It is a funny thing.
Now,
Isn't it?
here's a funny thing.
It's called an LVT, and it says here it's made by Dovepoo.
Who?
I know,
I
maybe my eyes.
Dog poo,
but there you go.
DOVPO,
DOVPO.
Dovepoo, not dog poo.
Oh, sorry.
Not dog poo, Dovepoo.
Oh, right.
And on the top of it, I've got a CE5, which I haven't got on an adapter, so I'm not getting the best out of it, as you can imagine, because this has got a recessed top on it, which may actually come off. Actually, it does. I'm just thick. I didn't notice. It's supposed to be waterproof, hence it's got this very thick coating on. Plastic rubber. It's actually rubber.
Looks like one of those things you put in a cool bag.
Exactly. That's exactly what it does look like, and it feels like one as well. It's very heavy. The only thing is, when I got it, it came beautifully packed. I'm trying to see what I did with the box.
Be with all the others, Chris.
Oh, God knows, it's somewhere. But it came beautifully packed, and there was an instruction book with it that said, do not immerse in water.
But it's supposed to be waterproof.
Yes. And I thought, well, I'd worked it out that immersing it in water wouldn't be all that good when the controls are obvious, like that. Water would be bound to seep in there.
Yes.
So I'd already worked that bit out for myself. I'm quite clever like that sometimes.
Is that a mirror on the side?
No, it's just a mirrored finish.
All
Right?
right.
But it's got a torch on the bottom,
Oh,
right? Which is handy for
multi-purpose.
me. You know that. If I can ever remember how you switch it on again. The instructions were a little bit vague. So it came with a charger, and I thought, right, I'll charge it. It feels pretty weighty. I'll put it on charge, and all the buttons lit up as you would expect, and telling me it was charging. And I thought, hang on a minute. When I ordered this, it said 18650.
Right.
I don't think there's a battery in it. So how is this happening? Anyway, I now had the problem on my hands of finding out how I tell if there's a bloody battery in there.
Is there not a battery compartment?
I defy you to find it.
Well, I'm looking very closely here. And I
Is it one of those slidey things?
I thought that. I did all the slideys. I did everything you can think of. I did pulling here and ripping down there. And I found this bit that came out. And I discovered, I thought, there's the bit for charging your iPhone and all that kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, it's got to be there somewhere. And then I spotted this little hole down here. And there was an Allen key came with it. So I thought, right, fit the thing in the hole and see what happens. Well, not a lot did.
That's
But
normal for me.
I thought, right, I turned it as far as I could. And then it was fingernail time. And with the fingernails, I managed to get this open. And lo and behold, there wasn't a battery in it. So would you mind telling me how it lit up?
Yes.
Could you use it as a pass-through while it was lit up?
Well, not at that point I didn't, because frankly, there was no battery in it.
Well, quite. I just wondered. Uh-huh.
So was there not a battery in the box provided
No.
with it?
No. And the instructions said, you know, remove lid off battery compartment, but it didn't tell me where it was.
Were there no pictures?
No.
Oh.
And I thought, well, that's clever.
Well, why wouldn't they put a battery in?
Well, because it keeps the cost down.
Yes. And as it was only, was under 40 quid, it was not an expensive buy. But I thought the one thing it should do, I think I've taken that beauty ring off now, and that now fits. It basically has the same sort of power instructions as the Vamo.
All
know,
right.
where
Yeah.
you up, down, press so many times. It'll do most things for you. And
Sav's saying in chat it wasn't plugged in, but the torch still worked. It's magic, I
yeah,
tells you.
that's true. It works, can it? And I mean those C5s. It was you got me on them.
Are you talking to
What was
Keith or
it
me?
we got? I'm talking to you. You had something in it. It had a C5 on, and I thought that looks brilliant.
Do you have a choice of colours, Chris?
It was in grey or blue.
All right.
So I bought some C5s, Steve.
You got some, have
One
you?
or two.
You'll keep you going for a fortnight or three.
But it does the job, and if you drop it, the chances are you'll snap whatever's on the top here, but you're not going to do that any damage, that's for sure. And if it's raining, my advice is don't have it that way up.
Yes, chat has said that it's splash proof, not waterproof.
That's about it.
Well, it'd be like these
But
watches
then
you
again,
buy.
so's that.
What you do tell Keith?
Well, you often get these watches where it'll say it's waterproof. Then when you read the instructions, it isn't really.
Yes.
You know, these cheap sort of Chinese watches or wherever they come from.
So it's not like Ronseal. It's not doing what it says on the tin.
Don't mention Ronseal.
Oh, I'm going to keep on mentioning Ronseal. Jill's been sniffing your fence. She loves creosote. Don't know. Yes.
These C5s really give a nice flavour. I must admit, I'm liking them.
I Crit My Pants has asked the question, is it something like an MVP2 with a skin?
It's very much like an MVP2 with a skin.
Good.
Because it's variable voltage, and I believe you can change it over to wattage, but I'm not sure how. It reminds me of an e-cig that was around a couple of years ago. Was it the Revolution it was called, Dave?
Yeah.
And that had a doofer on the bottom as well.
It did. Absolutely right. And Leanna Lawless has said, just so you know, she likes blue.
I'm pleased.
There you go. Acknowledged.
I quite like it, but it is a bit heavy. And I put the squape on it, and that was just hilarious. It was like a weightlifting competition. It was just a bit too much. But be careful, if you do get one of these, they don't stand up very well. They'll topple quite easily. So that was my purchase, my Christmas present to myself that arrived this month.
I dare not ask when you ordered it.
Well, you see, the beauty of having a bad memory is I put these orders in and I do them on a regular basis, and then this mystery parcel arrives and I cannot remember what I've ordered. So it comes as a nice surprise when you open it.
Indeed.
Hence I call them me Christmas prezzies.
Silver Zero is asking about wireless charging. Both Mark Jones, MG Jones 74, and myself have wirelessly charging devices. They are quite bulky though, but yes, there's no reason why they shouldn't. The problem is, of course, that you have to have a dedicated charger because they've all got different sized coils on them. But it does works quite well actually. Silent79 wants to know, where do you put the cassette in, Chris?
Anywhere you can find a spare hole. If you can lever anything off, put it in there.
Indeed.
These will play them other things. What were they called? Not Super 8s. The ones before the cassettes that you used to have in cars.
Oh, the 8-track ones.
Aye.
Can't remember what they were called. 8-track, I think. And Reggie's saying, where did you buy it? Because the prices he see are above £60. There's a hint. It's fairly fast and it's tech.
Aye.
I
And
think.
I'm not advertising for them. And I don't know if it's a copy of something. By what Reggie said, it obviously is, unless people are buying them from there and then putting the price up. I was under the impression it wasn't a copy of anything. But I could be wrong. 8-track, that's right.
8-track, yes.
The old 8-track.
The
You
old
get one
8-track.
of them in here.
Rithian man might have it right with his post that's just before Leanna Lawless and Reggie's.
But
There you
he
go.
doesn't understand. It's so exciting when the postie comes and he has this package and I've no idea what's in it. And you start feeling around going, well, what could be in there? Because there was something else I bought as well and I've lost it. No, I haven't. I bought a top, a new top for the Kraken.
Oh, yes, you showed us this.
Because I broke mine. Well, I didn't break this bit, but I needed a new glass tank for it. So I bought a gold top, look.
Gold.
Yes.
Can you?
They used to take the mickey out of me because I used to say I wanted all my mods gold plated. Purely and simply so that I wouldn't rust them as quick with me sweat. It had nothing whatever to do with wanting to be like, nah. And I bet you don't get the mickey. Nah. Yes. I shouldn't read chat anymore. DJ Reptile UK has asked more or less, how often are you failing around the postman's package? Quite often, judging by that laugh.
I cannot give the answer that came in my head there. I just cannot see it.
Yes. Now he said all this innuendo is almost too much to take. Almost.
Almost.
That's the thing about e-cigs, isn't it? It's the thing about vaping. It's innuendo city.
It is.
And
I suppose it is.
It's
well,
unavoidable. Absolutely unavoidable, I think. However, the adverts aren't, so we'd probably better take them. It is that time already. We will be back in a couple of minutes. And when we get back, I'm going to get this, well, it'd be one man with one, actually two desires. Back in two.
Safercigs.co.uk, sponsors of the Haze Hour. Safercigs, sponsors of the Haze Hour.
And we're back in the room, here on the Haze Hour. We didn't do the Haze Hour thing before the tittles, did we?
We didn't. No.
We didn't. Oh well, never mind. We'll do it at the end, before the credits, because we're good that way. You know. Who says we're stuck in a rut, eh? For what? What day is it again? Right. Yes. Now, tonight. I have to say this. I'm taking one for the team, right? Because there have been two of these things sent up. There it is. There they are. Get the drop tips out of the way. And this is what they're called. They're called a Desire by Kik, K-I-K. And this box here.
Was it Desire or Desire?
No, Desire.
Desire, sir, right.
You can make your own mind up. Does that say
It's
Desire?
It does,
There's
yes.
no little accent, so
No.
that's Desire by Kik. Menthol, 12 milligram, equal to 130 cigarettes is what it says. And I have to swap the camera back to the one that's got the zoomy up eeny. This one, the other one's apple. I'll give you the apple one, Keith. And this is what the beastie looks like. If you were to catch it from the side, you might think it was an ordinary disposable kind of black lookalikey, but you'd be wrong. As you can see, it's oval, ovoid even. And I shall pull off, and I'm here to tell you, even now, while I'm just sitting handling it, this thing stinks of menthol. Absolutely reeks of menthol. So I am taking one for the team tonight, because I am going to be vaping menthol. It's alright for you, Chris. You won't suffer.
I quite like menthol.
Yeah, I know, but it's Keith that's going to be sat here with us, isn't it? And we've got, 35 minutes till the end of the show. It's a big disposable, as Leanna Lawless says, and it's not too ugly. It isn't. I'll just go back on closely up you come and look. I mean, it is. It's quite the thing, isn't it? Really elegant in black and gold.
It is quite elegant, yeah.
Quite elegant in black and gold with a blue light on the end. Oh my God! Jeepers creepers!
Now that's quite a pleasant apple flavour.
Oh, I tell you what, Sav would love this. Wow, that is powerful menthol. And it's not performing badly. Whoa, that is really powerful menthol, that. Really powerful menthol. I'm quite liking it. How are you getting on with the apple one, Keith?
Nice. And as you say, quite powerful.
Now, the thing about it is, let's go back to closely up you come on all this. If you read, the lights are really powerful. If you read all the bump on the back, and I don't know how visible that is, it says, Desire by Kick is the exclusive switching alternative. Turn the other one over. The sleek, elegant design will make you the envy of all. Skillfully crafted flavours together with a superior delivery system will give you the kick you are searching for. Give in to your desire. Over 18s only, not for sale to minors or pregnant breastfeeding women. You alright with that then, Keith? That's alright then. Remove the label from the tip, use as you would a regular cigarette. Well, I wouldn't say that you use it the way you would use a regular cigarette, because I've never tasted a menthol tab that tastes like this. Sav would love this. That's how strong it is. I've had Sav's menthol before, because I'm not the wimp everybody thinks I am. And this, Sav, this is on a par. This is on a par. They do a rechargeable. I've got no idea what makes it exclusive. Somebody's asked in chat. Dripper Box has said. I'm presuming, well, I've never seen an oval disposable before. Have you, Chris?
Not disposable, no.
I mean, we've seen the Ovali, the Ovali oval one that has the two atomizers in. This doesn't. It's a single atomizer within the top there. But I'm here to tell you, in terms of power, this meant actually I quite like this.
I don't think I've ever tried a disposable that had such good vapour production as that. Have you?
No. It is actually, I have to say, quite satisfying.
Are there other flavours other than menthol and apple?
I sincerely hope so.
They're only 12 milligram, aren't they?
These ones are, yes,
Yeah.
just 12 milligram. But in terms of flavour, fabulous.
Yeah, I'm impressed with that.
Lal has said, if you want that size and can't refill, why not buy a real e-cig? Point. That is a good point. If you've read through all of the stuff that Ash put out today, effectively, and we looked at last night, you will discover that there's a lot of people out there, roughly half, we think, that are using cigalikes, generation 1 stuff, and this I would class as kind of generation 1.5 maybe. There's not a great many people only use disposables, but I can see how, with some of the publicity that we've had over the last year, that there could be a lot of people persuaded that it might not be a bad idea to use something disposable, so it's not going to blow up and scorch your skirt in the bar, and it's not going to burn your house down, and you're not going to get dripped on by that very, 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 very toxic e-liquid, which according to Dr. Oz, one drop on your index finger will kill you. So they could be persuaded into things like that. I would say, of its ilk, this is not a bad little device. I'm finding it quite okay. It's not something I would choose to use all day, every day, not by any stretch of the imagination.
You know, when you talk of the oval shape, do you remember years ago there was a a deluxe cigarette you could buy that was an oval shape. I can't remember the make.
It was either Pasha or Passing Clouds.
No, it was
Wasn't a Sobrani, was it?
I believe it was.
They weren't oval.
Yes, it was Balkan Sobrani.
Oh, Soprani Balkans, yes.
And you could get them in different pastel shades, if I remember. Is that right, Chris?
There were pastels, yeah.
I don't remember the Balkans being oval. I remember the Pashas
I don't
being
remember
oval.
them. Yeah,
I think it was
because I used to buy
Sobrani.
Sobrani.
But there were a good bit more expensive than the normal
Well,
sort of cigarette.
You've got to remember, I'm a lot younger than you two. You know.
Quite, yes.
Oh dear.
Do you hear that, Chris?
Yes, you heard. I've seen that face before.
What?
I know when I'm getting the look, and I just got the look. Yes.
No, I'm quite taken with that.
Rivian man says nose hit it, Dave. All right. I'm not scared.
Oh, they've certainly got the flavour.
That opens the sinuses up a bit. They're all right. I think they're about 12 quid. I will confirm price at some point. I mean, 130 tabs, never going to happen, I don't think.
It's a big claim, that, isn't it?
Well, I mean, that one I've been using quite a lot. It's been getting passed around as well, the Apple one.
This is the one I tried quickly over the fence.
Yes.
The Desire is £9.95.
In which case, I do apologise to Kick, it's $9.95. That's the same price as some of the lesser disposables. Even like the Puritane's $9.95, isn't it? And that Nicolite's one you can get in
That's more
Sainsbury's.
expensive than the one you got round the corner.
It is more expensive than the one I got from Jai's, yes.
However, at the moment, there's only the 2 flavours to choose from and 12 milligram.
All right. So you either have apple or
menthol.
Or menthol.
Oh, I've got to try something now. Give us our over, Keith.
Oh. Mint apple.
Oh, you've got to have a go at that.
No, I'm not going to touch menthol.
It's really rather nice.
Last time I tried menthol, I was tasting it the next day. There's only you would do that.
And just to confirm while Dave is doing that, the LVT is available on a couple of other sites in the price range of £64. One of them quotes it as a Firestone product. I don't know. I can only say what it says on the actual item.
Hang on a minute. Jeff Benyon's just asked, have I got a glory hole in my fence? Yes, there is a nut hole, isn't there, in one of the boards? There is a nut hole. I'd never thought about using it as a glory hole. Is Vicky up for that?
I think we could use sort of poke an e-cigarette through there, couldn't you?
I'm not
Is that
sure.
not what you had in mind?
I'm not sure what Jeff's got in mind, but given that it's Jeff Benyon, I'm pretty sure it's got nothing to do with e-cigs.
What? There is a knot hole now. Aye.
Robs has said the coloured ones were Sobrani Cocktail. That's true. Entropy said he got one from Pound World the other day. It was crap, but when he pulled the sticky label off, it had a thermistor thermal cut-off in it. And if they can do that in a £1 e-cig, why can't they do it in an Ego? That's a bloody good point, isn't it?
It's a very good point.
A thermistor cut-off.
So took the label off.
Uh-huh. You look confused there,
I've never
Keith.
used one, bought one in a pound shop, have you?
I think I did quite a while ago, but it's not an experience I would care to relive, frankly.
But you see, as I say, the vapour production on that without any effort, because with some of the disposables you need a poultice on the back of your neck, don't you?
Well, that's true. I mean, this is a little bit tighter than I'm used to at the minute, but it's not out of the way. It's quite canny. $9.95. If it's worthwhile, I would think, keeping in the glove box just in case. And this one I would keep in the glove box just in case.
Yeah,
but the Apple one, not the menthol.
Mm.
I can breathe far too easily now.
Good flavour.
Yes, I can talk with it as well, which is really weird.
So you say they're making something similar, rechargeable.
No. No.
Not similar to.
No, it's not similar. I'll show you what their rechargeable looks like next week.
Right.
I've got some of their juices as well. They were kind enough to send a whole load up. So I'll show you them next week. It's all pretty standard stuff, to be honest. But if their delivery and everything is fine, then that'll be good. However,
You see, I suppose for someone starting off, never tried e-cigs before, and they get the sort of standard disposable, this would, I think, give a much better impression of e-cigs to a beginner, wouldn't it, as a disposable?
I think so, yes. Whether or not, though, they would accept, well, it's a difficult one. I think the further we go through time, chat, I'm not reading you. I am not reading you. You are just trying to distract me now. And I've lost my train of thought. Bugger. Yes. What are you laughing
That's
at? Are you
unusual
reading the
for
same
you.
chat as I am, Chris? Some bad buggers in there.
You see, I can't see it.
Well,
Where am
Just
I?
as well.
Keith,
Is
it
it
really is just as well.
Right.
Honestly, at this moment in time, it's all summed up by Disco Des, who says, any hole's a goal. And, right, yes, in terms
Obviously a football supporter.
of... Must be, has to be. Bless. People that are watching on video on demand, you need to come and watch this live with chat. That's just... It's so wrong, but it's so right at the same time. I can't stop. I can't pull myself away
does it
from
need
it.
censoring, does it?
No. It needs not to be within my field of view. What will we see? Yes, look. If you are watching this and you are a raw recruit and you've only just come to them and you fancy disposables, I would say go for this. As Keith has said, and he's not wrong, it's the best of the disposables I've come across because it does produce rather well. At 12 milligram, it's probably a little bit low on the nicotine for most people. I'd like to see it up at 36 for as long as possible, 45 if we can manage it, and I'd like to see a few more flavours in it. But yes, it's nice, it's funky. And as Professor West said this morning, if anybody takes a look at that and thinks you're drawing on a fag, they need to be taken outside and well, shot, basically. Absolutely shot. We're going to take some adverts, and when we come back, I'll play in the thing that was on the BBC this morning.
Oh, yes.
Directly off the website, because Keith hasn't seen it yet, and you haven't either, have you, Chris?
No, I haven't seen it either.
It is absolutely fabulous. In the meantime, I'm going to scroll back through chat and see if I can... Yes, if we're not back in 2 minutes, send the Huskies and the search dogs out because I'll be rolling on the floor laughing. See you in 2.
Save the Cigs, sponsors of the Haze Hour. Safer Cigs, sponsors of the Haze Hour.
Now, just before we go to the BBC thing, and welcome back everybody, I just wanted to show you these quickly that have come up from Safer Cigs. It's a new range of drip tips, and I have been using one of the stainless steel ones here on my TNS for the last week or so, and I'm here to tell you all of them are very, very comfortable. I wanted to mention them because I know a lot of people are looking around for good drip tips. They're on the Safer Cigs site. Go and have a look at them. And just as well, before I finish with KIK or kick, I wanted to show you something else. Now, people that have got young children may be aware of this, but those of you that haven't might not have seen this sort of thing. But if you look there on the box, on what is the right hand side for you, you will see a symbol there. And that symbol, the white circle with the red outline and the little picture of a baby's head with 0 to 3, what was in this box is not suitable for children under the age of 3 years old. There you go. That's what you call thinking about the children. I just thought I'd share that. I quite like that one. Disco Des has asked, are there Delrin ones there, DD, because he hates stainless steel? Yes, there are. And again, very comfortable. The same patterns, pretty much the same sort of patterns in both Delrin and stainless steel. And I like them. They are nice. Nice. Yes, Ridian Man reckons that that's the choking hazard symbol for 0 to 3 year old. But there you go. There you go. That's the way it works out. Right, the BBC. Let's have a look. And we'll go to the BBC site. There it is, because I need to do some bits and bobs here, and we'll start playing it in. It's the arguments for and against the e-cigarette. Started playing.
They're vaping, not smoking, and they're not alone. New figures today show the number of people using e-cigarettes in the UK has trebled in 2 years to 2.1 million.
I smoked for years, and this is potentially better for you, I guess. You know, we haven't got any tar.
When you are smoking an e-cig, you just get just nicotine and nothing else.
Despite the enthusiasm here, the British Medical Association and the World Health Organization have recommended banning e-cigarettes in public places. They say there isn't enough evidence that they're safe or effective. Queen Mary University in London. Ian is having the levels of carbon monoxide in his body tested.
So that's showing a 4 there, so that's a non-smoker reading.
Ian now uses an e-cigarette. It works by heating liquid nicotine into a vapour, which is then inhaled. The test is overseen by Professor Peter Hayek.
Many people out there think that nicotine itself is a dangerous poison, but if nicotine is taken without the accompanying toxicants, then the health effects would be very similar to drinking coffee.
So that's a 4, so that's the exact same reading as before the e-cigarette.
So e-cigarettes contain no discernible toxins or carbon monoxide. The final test, what reading will Ian get after having a normal cigarette?
So you've got a 10 there, so that's officially a smoker reading.
Experts say e-cigarettes are orders of magnitude safer than normal cigarettes, but do they work? Professor Robert West is one of the country's leading addiction experts. He studied 5,000 people who were using different methods to try and stop smoking: patches, gum, e-cigarettes and nothing. His results are published next month.
What we found was that those who were using the e-cigarettes were about 60% more likely still not to be smoking than those who used either the licensed product or nothing at all.
Despite that evidence, serious concerns remain. Does the marketing of e-cigarettes make them attractive to children? One study last year found 12% of 14 to 17-year-olds had tried them.
We already have data which can actually check this worry. If a child tries a conventional cigarette, there's a 50% chance that they will become daily users. If a child tries e-cigarettes, so far we have no evidence that they progress to regular use.
There are other worries. The Welsh Government says e-cigarettes glamorise and will re-normalise smoking. They've proposed a ban in enclosed public places.
No question of someone, looking at someone using that and thinking they're smoking. So you've got to think, well, okay, so it's not dangerous to be near someone who's using an electronic cigarette. There's really no evidence and actually very little reason to believe that it's going to renormalise smoking. So what's the problem?
The problem in the end may simply be the word e-cigarette, the vapour that looks like smoke, a sense that they just don't feel right.
I can understand people wanting to be cautious, but if we fail to take this opportunity that electronic cigarettes potentially are providing, then we're really condemning people to death who would otherwise have lived. That's what's at stake.
Nonetheless, regulators are clamping down on e-cigarettes. Concerns remain about safety, efficacy and limited regulation.
He's saying,
Yes.
he's saying exactly what that Greek guy said.
Yes. It's
That
saying
really,
exactly.
you're condemning people to death
Absolutely
by
right.
discouraging their use.
Yes. That's the first time you two have seen it, though. Chris, what's your thoughts on that?
Very positive.
Incredibly positive piece.
Yes.
Affirming everything that we already knew. But it's nice to see something like that being shown on TV in such a positive manner.
Yes.
You know, but what time did you say that was shown?
That was shown on this morning around about 8:22, I think, peak prime news time. It wasn't hidden away at 6 o'clock or something like that. That was prime news time. And if you take that together with the positive stuff that's been in the Daily Mail and the Guardian and the Metro and everywhere else today, really, that is powerful stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A bit surprising in one way that it's the BBC that's done the programme, isn't it?
Well, I must admit, I saw the article in the Daily Mail and I thought, wow, here we go, a little bit of positivity. And I believe there was one in the Guardian as well, which was positive. And papers like the Guardian, I'm not going to say the Daily Mail, unfortunately, but what the Guardian prints and the Telegraph print, people take notice of. Nobody really takes much notice of the Daily Mail because it will have, it'll contradict itself tomorrow.
Is that in today's press?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
According to Disco Days, it was shown at 6:15, 7:22 and 8:22, and people are asking whether I was going to show the chap that was on in the studio with Bill and his partner that got torn to shreds. Actually, no, I'm not, because that's the video that's going to go viral, is what Robert West had said and what Professor Peter Hayek had said. And quite honestly, if anybody does look at the interview that was done in the studio, the guy that was on that buried himself. It was obvious he was lying, and his very last sentence negated everything that he'd said prior to going there. I mean, Bill Turnbull, he's not a Rottweiler by any stretch of the imagination, but I do feel he ripped him a new one. It was fun to watch, let's put it that way. It's up on YouTube. I'll tweet it all out later. I think we've got links already up on the forum, haven't we, Chris?
I would think so, yes. I'm pretty certain we've got them
on
Facebook.
So there you go. Go and grab a look, and it's just absolutely fabulous stuff. Lamental is saying that Deborah Arnott's little clip on LBC Radio this morning was positive too. I haven't heard that yet. I've got to be honest. I've spent quite a large proportion of today checking my eyelids for pinholes, just purely and simply on the basis that I managed to climb into my kip about 4:30 this morning. After talking with some superstars in the States, with Kev last night, and if you're watching, Kev, thank you again for inviting me on. I learned an awful lot, and yes, if you haven't heard the VP live show from last night, and indeed what the law says from Friday night, listen to them both. There's some extremely interesting and informative stuff on there. It's 3 hours of your life that'll be well spent. Trust me on that. When I grow up, I want to be Bill Godshaw, because he absolutely tore Tom to shreds. I wish I could be that vehement and yet that polite at the same time. And he only swore 3 times, Chris.
Did he?
He did. Something about a fire truck.
Right.
And that was about the size of it, really. It was it was all good stuff. Yes. Oh, Mark's put the link in for the BBC News thing. Thank you for that. And Lamental says he's posted a link to the recording in the general section of the VTTV forum. Excellent. And
Lovely, thank you, Lamental.
Yes, all good stuff. Thank you. We keep saying this, don't we? Our chat is the best on the planet.
They're brilliant.
They're absolutely
brilliant.
Fabulous. Monster Rob said they had a lady from Ash saying that they were a good thing and 1,000 times better than smoking, as it's the smoke that harms, not the nicotine, which is all good. And Yoda 1970 has said, today seems to be a landmark day. And I think you're not wrong, Yoda. I think you are not wrong at all. I think, well, I know a little birdie has told me that Cancer Research UK has a position paper coming out in May. And Professor Robert West is kind of one of the head bods there, is he not, Chris?
He is indeed.
One can only put 2 and 2 together then and assume that Cancer Research UK will also be adopting a similar attitude to that was displayed by Professor West in that piece. It would appear that the science is winning out. What we now have to do, of course, is work out how best to use that science and that change to win the hearts and minds of anybody and everybody, and let's see if we can't get everybody using e-cigs.
But I mean, that would be of enormous significance if you know, a body like the Cancer came out with those sort of comments, wouldn't it?
Well, absolutely right. I mean, and it's long past time that they did, in my view. I do know that Ash UK has had these feelings and this information and what have you, and I think, and again, I've got to say a big thank you to the people that put on the e-cigarette summit last year, because I think that was the turning point when everybody heard what they needed to hear, and when certain minds, shall we say, were swayed slightly to start thinking ethically about what's going on. And given the amount of stuff that's coming up, well, for me at any rate, over the next couple of months, I think we are about to see a lot of tides turning, and it's all good. It's all got a little bit serious, didn't it, Chris? Sorry about it, I do apologise. I was just quite chuffed by that BBC thing this morning and all the stuff that's in the paper. I'll say this to everybody: if you're not on Twitter, you should be, because there are loads and loads of us on there. And all of this information is coming out on Twitter. You get it first on Twitter. Go and join up. It takes no doing. It's free and it's all good. And I've also heard tonight, Skype. Chris, you love this.
Oh, please tell me something positive about Skype.
Group calls for free. You don't have to pay to do group calls.
All right.
Apparently, that's coming up now. There you go. Now then, Vapor Cape has said, fair play for that, nice to see science winning through. Gary Dibley said it was very good to attend that event. Where are we at? Brian Fletcher has said, we just need to stop people mixing in their kitchens and flogging it in the pub.
Oh God, yeah.
I would agree with that 100%. The Furious Fury 79 has shouted at the top of his voice, not whole.
Not whole. Yes.
Okay, Keith, what do you know about not holes? That's rotten.
Well, thanks for enlightening me.
Yes, no problem. Actually, Max, they weren't always free before Microsoft bought them, because I had to pay long before Microsoft bought them in order to get the group calls. But there you go. Yes, where are we at?
My only concern, Dave, and I'm sorry to be a wet blanket, but over the last couple of years, we've heard a lot of eminent people give evidence of the positivity of e-cigarettes. And time again, we've seen that evidence being dismissed. And rubbish such as, you know, the FDA Enjoy court case being quoted as fact, even though enjoy, you know, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm
Yes.
getting a bit. I can't accept, or I'm worried that the government, because it's now down to our government, will close ears. I'm frightened that decisions have already been made.
I think, if I'm to be honest,
Hence, I'm not sitting here getting excited.
yeah,
You know,
I know exactly where you're coming from.
I've felt disappointed so many times before.
Yes, yes, I know exactly where you're coming from, and to a large degree, I would agree. But on this occasion, I do think that if Cancer Research UK comes out and puts a position statement that more or less echoes what Robert West said on the Beeb this morning, given Ash's stance, given Peter Hayek's stance, and so on and so forth, bear in mind these people pull a hell of a lot of influence in government, and I believe Jane Ellison and others are attending some of the events that I'm going to be attending over the next couple of months, and certainly Mr. Bubblegum himself will be at one of them. So, you know, it's indicative, I think, that on the breakfast show this morning they wheeled out somebody that nobody'd ever heard of, and he tried to sing from the Aunties hymn book, and not only forgot the words but started singing off ours in his own special little way. It was, you've got to see it to believe it. I mean, for Bill Turnbull, and I've got a lot of respect for the bloke, but Paxman he ain't. For Bill Turnbull to be able to tear a new one in him, that's how weak he was on. And I think everybody watching it will have seen that and they'll have gone, but patently you're talking out your backside, mate. Patently. Yes. Vaping Sam has said he's with you. He is with Kat. There should be no glancing with the facts and the truth. Let the facts bear out. Pete Dermody has said BMA next, please. That, I suspect, is going to be a tougher nut to crack. But yeah, we will be doing our best to do that. Vapor Caper has said, if Crook and Ash back e-cigs, their voices carry a lot of weight. I think actually if Cancer Research and Ash are singing off the same hymn sheet, the BMA is going to have to follow, because there's some fairly high profile voices, Dr. Christian being one of them, that are shouting from the rooftops that, you know, the truth should out. And there you go. It's all good. Des has said something, but it's scrolled off. Oh, Gary Dibley said, yeah, disco, but I like the bird in a hand is worth two in the bush, and he'll take the bush anytime.
Oh, Gary, man.
That's Mr. Dibley.
Chat, we were talking about innuendos before. Every sentence in that chat tonight is full of them.
Really? Yes. To kind of bring it back on track, Neil Roth has said that the non-entity lied, made up untrue deaths. He did. He absolutely did. I mean, he was really, really grasping at straws. Absolutely. And as MG Jones has 74 has said, it is always harder to remember your lies than the truth. My granddad used to say the same thing. If you're going to be a good liar, you need a good memory. Isn't that right, Bernard?
That's right. Remember that.
I just think it's good that, you know, you've had a number of positives that have all come together after all the negative stuff over the months.
Yes.
You know, the fact there's been stuff in the papers, on the radio, on the BBC this morning, all pointing in a positive direction.
Yes, and it's devoutly to be hoped that the BBC carries on with this. And if Cancer Research comes out with something more, then the likelihood is they will. Because CRUK, it's a bit like Nigel Farage, the BBC believes every word they say. And they hang off them, so that's all good. And that wasn't meant to be nasty to anybody, it just appears to be.
I mean, you know, when you talk about governments twisting information, what was passing through my mind there are hints of similarities with the global warming debate. In some respects, You know,
Yes.
where you hear of information being twisted and held back and all that sort of thing.
Oh, there's no two ways about it. There's graft and corruption going on at all levels of the scientific society. That goes absolutely without saying. It also goes absolutely without saying that we've hit 10 o'clock.
We have. And can I just pass on a comment made by Lee?
Yes.
Does this mean that the unknown knowns are known and the known unknowns are also known? Or have I missed something?
The answer to that
I would
is...
say I don't know.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
know.
To put it in Geordie Patois, I've got no idea.
No idea.
I mean, could we put that in Geordie? Does that mean the nouns is no noun and the non-noun nouns is not noun at all? Does no know? Because I'd have a know. Nobody knows? The knows.
No idea.
Aye, no idea.
I didn't know.
Yes. Brian Fletcher has said, they always say no long-term studies have been carried out. Well, see what the death rate is from them in 10, 20, 30 bloody years. We are willing to be your guinea pigs. Too bloody right. Solidarity,
right, Brian,
brother.
and we've said that since day one. And if they'd listened, they would have had at least 3 years research by now.
Absolutely right. Yes. And Anthony Billingham has said they won't want the truth out. It'll show how many lies they've been telling. I think it's a bit late now. I think that got shown well and truly today. I do like that. I do like that. And on that bombshell, I'll just run through quickly what we've got coming up for the rest of the week, and then we will take our leave and depart and leave you to enjoy the rest of your night in peace. Sorry. It's been a long day, the day. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night for Marco van Basten with Vaperscene, followed at 9:45 by DE Talk, our German language programme, which I believe is back on this week. That'll be good. Marco's doing 3.5 hours tomorrow night. He told us earlier on today he only had 31 seconds to fill, so that's all good. Good on you, Marco. Pleased about that. Wednesday night, Mr. Dibley, the man of the shortened thumb. That's what his wife calls it.
Shortened thumb.
Oh yes. Oh, he took me.
Yes, I'd heard that.
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely. I think he's been trying to change his religion, but he just got the instructions wrong. Took the tip off his thumb instead.
Is there much missing?
Enough, apparently.
There's always been a lot missing with Gary.
He's not a keyboard player or anything.
Not
is he
anymore.
What?
Not anymore. Apparently he's even having trouble picking his nose.
Oh.
And you know what they say about that? You can pick your friends and you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose. So Wednesday night, tin your tips back. And then Thursday night, what's it called, that show I do? Oh yes, VT Talk will be back on Thursday night. And I'll fill you in on Thursday what's going to be happening the Thursdays after, because I'm flitting about like a blue-arsed fly now. Friday night, Saturday night, VT TV will be having nights off, but RY4 Radio will carry on because it starts at 10 o'clock every night. They're on every night, right throughout the week. And then on Sunday, Dave's Tackle Box will be back with Dave Kitson. Then it rolls right the way back round to the Haze Hour again next Monday. And it only remains for me to say thank you to Keith for joining me.
Pleasure.
Thank you for Kat for joining us.
Enjoyed it.
And I'm going to say I do like that top. It's sparkly.
Sparkly.
Sparkly
That's
top.
the paint splashes.
Oh, that's what it is. Well, there you go.
Aye.
It's amazing, isn't it? Absolutely amazing. Till we see you next time, thank you very, very, very much for joining us. Join in the merriment and celebration, and until we see you again, vape on, vape hard, and don't let the bastards grind you down. Till next time, from all of us here, bye-bye.
Bye. Good
Hi.
night.
e-cigs, sponsors of the Haze Hour.